Hey guys, Dylan from the Geek Duo here, and today I'll be bringing you my reaction to The Book of Boba Fett, Season 1, Episode 2. Simply listed as Chapter 2, because for some reason Disney Plus doesn't have the chapter names on its site. And the synopsis is, Boba Fett faces new challenges on Tatooine. Now, as I think I said last episode, this episode and last episode make up an hour and a half of content, including openings and credits. And almost 2/3 of that is in this episode. So, this is either going to give us a lot more backstory, or it's going to give us a lot more present day. I mean, realistically, it can do both because of how much runtime it has, but I feel it's going to be one or. And by more, I mean proportionally to the last episode. But I guess we're going to, because if I remember correctly, I only watched it yesterday, but the first episode had a third of it set in present day. So if we'll be able to tell proportional wise which episode has more once we're done watching this, and we'll start it in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, starting off with recaps. Interesting. Seems I lowered it a little too far. Hopefully that should encompass all the subtitles. Come on. I guess I have to show a little bit of the black on the bottom to get all of it. And of course the intro. I like how there's a skip recap button and a skip intro button. So if you want to skip straight to the start of the actual content, do you have to click both of them? I don't click either because, well, I don't see the point, but... Okay, so we're starting with present day. Seems we're starting almost immediately after the last present day section. I can think of 3 people who sent that guy. Either it was the Twi'leks, the mayor, or the major domo. Now, that could be the major domo on behalf of the mayor or on his own. Okay. Order of she's like immediately in competition with them as an assassin herself, so she probably knows whether they live up to their reputation or not, and seems to imply they don't. Do they even have a Sarlacc? Did they get one after Luke killed the last one? Guess not. Maybe I should just let scenes play out before questioning them. But he said the mayor sent him. Now, was he telling the truth to try and save himself from death? Or would he say anything to get him out of death? That is the question. I'm the daimyo. Do I need an appointment? I wouldn't want to deal with him either. Okay. Nightwind huts. And that's another potential candidate as to who sent it. Huts may want to reclaim Tatooine. Though why didn't they do it from Bib? Again, not the tribute he's looking for. So the assassin sent him to the mayor. The mayor sent him to the Twi'leks, but also throughout the Hutts. So it seems like we're just gonna throw accusations on everyone, so you don't actually know who to trust or not. Which I guess for a crime show, well, a crime boss, that sort of makes sense. That did seem like I'm surprised you're alive look, so. Is that like the Star Wars equivalent of a whore in church? The twins. So, two Hutts are laying claim to Tatooine, I guess. Interesting. Like, I knew there were more Hutts other than Jabba, but I don't know anything about that race. I don't know many things about most of these races, if I'm being honest. Or that would not want to be one of those guys. Also, I counted at least 3 different races carrying that litter. He was using a rat as a sweat rag. That is a very intimidating looking Wookiee. I wouldn't want to go up against a normal Wookiee, but also there seemed to be some recognition between Boba Fett and that Wookiee. Yes. You do realize your fan covers maybe a third of your mouth. You can still probably understand what you're saying if you can read your lips. I want to see more of that Wookiee. He seemed cool. Also, he was said to be a gladiator, so... Maybe we'll get to see some of that. That's... interesting. Permission from who? And we're going back to the flashbacks, okay. See, a flashback between two present day things is more acceptable than present day between two flashbacks. I don't know if that's how this episode's going to go or not, but... Still want to know what's different about this one. Must be getting late enough in the day for it to start cooling down and creatures to come out. I think it's freaky. So, never really thought about it, but I mean, it makes sense given it's a nomadic tribe that, yeah, there would be complete equal between the female and the male Tuscans, because we just see them all doing the same thing. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, the trainer Tuscan is female. So, I guess the Tuscans are better than humans. Hide behind the giant dead thing. I know it's a bantha, but still, giant dead thing works. It is nice to get to see more of the Tuscan Raiders, like their culture and like how they operate, because we got a little bit of it in The Mandalorian, but it's nice to see it expanded on from them just being savages that were shown in the movies. Also, not all of them died instantly from blast bolts. I know we've seen that before, but not normally with fodder characters. Normally it's just one shot, one death, but some of those were hobbling off from being shot. Or writhing on the ground, so interesting. Maybe their cloaks and that offer more protection than stormtrooper armor. Seem to be better shots than stormtroopers. Speeders, huh? What do you have with the speeders? So they have a word for speeder, but not train. Interesting. I guess you sort of do adopt some words that went into your language if you need it, and you just branch off, assume that similar things are named similarly if it's not a native word. Because I guess what is a train except a long car? Or maybe long truck. And a truck is just a big car, so... Oh, you're a dick. Those chips were back in the bowl in the next shot, so either it was an editing mistake or he just wanted to put his hands on their food. Ooh. They understand Universal. At least I assume that's what they call the language that's spoken, because they've got no reason to call it English, so... Maybe it's just, like... galactic... Yeah, I can't think of anything to call it. I'm not good with naming things. Why are you hitting people with your rifle? You've got a club for that. And now you don't have a rifle. Note to self. Spiky-faced alien equals same biology as humans. Not biology, you know what I mean. Bodily makeup. So what species are they? I know if I just type in spiky-faced Star Wars creature, I'm gonna get at least half a dozen results. He just took all their bikes. I was about to say, weren't there 5 lined up? But I did see that there was 2 in a line. Hey guys! I thought it was gonna say, hey guys, Boba's back. Never mind, it's just the white guy we pick. I know he's not white, I know he's Polynesian, but I don't know why I said white. I forget which type of Polynesian he's not some, is he New Zealand? A gift for you. Okay, if it's for us, we choose to take it apart. Just the extra bit tossed at the end there. Tuscans on speeders. Interesting. Never thought I'd see that. We understand. You get on with it. This is gonna go bad. Oh. Well, at least you can't really get run over by a speeder. That guy didn't even make the bike. Hey, he did it. Or not. Much faster than a panther. The trainer seemed to pick it up very easily. Okay, we've got one successful jump. Now the rest of you have to do it. Little kids imitating. Okay, so there is metal parts to it. That is actually a thing. I'm still a lot more talented than you. The train's coming. I like to imagine that Tuscan was just saying, train, 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 train. Just over and over again until someone finally verbally responded. Well, verbally reacted. Once again, I thought they lost a bike. I guess I just can't count today. So this train always fires first. Why? Like, if they'd encountered the Tuscans and the Tuscans shot first, I can understand them opening with fire here just as a precaution, but these Tuscans don't seem to be like the ones we saw in the pod racing area back in Phantom Menace. We have people all along these dunes, not just in our normal location. As Sun Tzu once said, if it looks like you're going to die, don't. Well, he actually said, if it looks like you're going to lose, don't. A train heist, or the equivalent in Star Wars. We did have one of them in Solo. I guess this is see. That Tusken took a blaster bolt's center mass and still is doing well. I'm too different to die. Well, you've alerted the driver. What exactly did that accomplish, other than you're now moving faster? Because it didn't knock... Oof. Okay, that guy definitely died. The other ones that were thrown out, it's deniability with the speed of the train, but that one definitely... Like, unless the driver's hoping to get to wherever this train is going, where there'll be more of whatever this race is. That's a lot of bantha. But yeah, otherwise, what does speeding up do? Because it didn't throw any of them off the train. So... Sure, you're gonna hit the old one with the burst every time you do it. That one I don't even think was killed by the sand. That hit the train. And you've overloaded all the circuitry. Screw you guys, I'm going home. There's no slowing this down. Unless the only thing that's still intact is the brake. Turns out the only thing still intact was the brake. Normally that's the first thing to go. Like in every movie you'll show you here, as soon as they reach the engine, the brakes are shot. But no, it's the complete opposite. Oy. Was that a Tommy gun? So they've been carrying guns, and that's all I can really see. I mean, the drug. That. Okay. We offer you your life. In return, you must pay us a protection fine each time you come past, and you must experience at least one trip as these guys. That's probably pretty valuable here on Tatooine. You should probably maybe think to sell that. Do Tuskens really need money? Also, we're just gonna get Tuskens with blasters now, as opposed to rifles. I'm assuming this is a few months, maybe years after he joined them, because he seemed to have picked up their language pretty well. He's a little lizard. Yeah. That cannot be a pleasant feeling. Oh, they've drugged him. Is this going to be a Vision Quest kind of thing? Show you the ways of the Tuscans? Like the, so like the ancestral plane trip in Black Panther? Or actual spirit walks in that? From many other cultures? I don't know why I went Black Panther first. Ooh, that's an interesting visual. It was made of sand, yet it was moving like water. You will remain until you have an epiphany. You guys really let him just wander off into the desert while he was tripping balls? I'm assuming that lizard has some actual navigation guiding instead of just a spirit guide as to how he made his way back. Also, he seems to have picked up a tree branch. So the tree wasn't wholly illusion. He seems to be still out of it. That probably felt even weirder coming out. Are they gonna make him a stick out of that? I know the things actually have a proper name. I just don't remember. This is where he gets the Tusken Raider robes that he still wears. That is very annoying to put on. He has to do this every day. Again, I shouldn't be saying things like that because there are actual garbs like that people do put on every day. Come, we must show you how we make our weapons. I was partly joking about them actually using it. Are they actually going to make him a stick out of that? Yeah, haven't you seen Surf's Up? You have to make the first one yourself. Chiseling. The only part of woodwork I could never get the hang of. Never cut myself. Could never get the material to go down properly either. I was about to do the start of an episode of Forged in Fire, but then I remembered I don't actually know how that starts. And you will use this weapon to crack the skulls of stormtroopers. So not only were they training him to fight, they were also training him in the ceremonial dance. I know it's not quite the same, and there's probably something that's actually more akin to this, but this is sort of reminding me of the Haka. Okay, Steph Green. Well, that looks Mad Max. Okay. That was a better episode than the first one, in my opinion. Probably partially due to the fact that it was even, well, split into segments. Like, You know what I mean. I've mentioned it multiple times. I don't want to keep going on about it, but yeah. But also I feel like the backstory of this with this episode was a lot more interesting than in the first episode. Like, the starting backstory of the first episode was good. Don't get me wrong. But the second part with the digging in the sand and all that, just I don't think it was wholly necessary. Whereas this, it's like, okay, so this leads immediately into this, which then leads to this, which gets to this, which relates back to the first thing. So it's all just a single story that each step seems necessary. Whereas I feel like showing the third melon being dug up by the Rhodian, heck, I think even showing the moisture farmers being attacked by the no, because I'm going to assume that the biker gang that attacked the moisture farmers is the same ones that Boba Fett stole the bikes from. So I'm going to assume that is why they were shown in the last episode, so I can relate to this one. Okay, gonna assume that. But I feel like it could have maybe been done. No, because there's no other place they could have. Why am I talking about episode 1 in my episode 2 review? Episode 2 was a lot better. In fact, with this episode, I think that the backstory may have been slightly stronger than the present time one. So we found out about the assassin. He says he was sent by the mayor. The mayor then insinuates that it was a Hutt that sent it, because he said the Order of the Night Wind aren't allowed to operate outside Hutt space. And I guess since Jabba is no longer the daimyo of Tatooine, Tatooine no longer falls under Hutt space. So he insinuates that it must have been a Hutt that sent it. He then also sends him to the Twi'lek, implying that she may have had something to do with it, and she did have that suspicious look that I commented on. So I'm still not entirely convinced that the mayor was the one who sent that. Don't get me wrong, I don't trust the mayor at all, but I just not entirely convinced he was the one who sent the assassins. Now, if he was working with the Hutts, like he promised them Jabba's old lands, it would lend more credence to him being the one who sent the assassin, because if he was working with the Hutts and promising them Tatooine, yeah, it would make sense for him to have access to a Hutt assassin. But otherwise, the sanctuary seems like the cantina as somewhere where a lot of bounty hunters and other of this kind would hang out, so it wouldn't be off the books for the Twi'leks to have contacted someone who was able to get in wind with the Order of the Night Wind as well. So I'm not entirely sure who sent that assassin. And given the fact that all of them are dead, we won't be getting the truth out of any of them. The Black Wookiee. Before I go off and do my checking the notes or anything, he seemed to have some familiarity between him and Boba Fett. Mentioned that he was a gladiator, so he knows who the Wookiee is, at least the reputation of it. But as I said, the Wookiee seemed to be familiar with Boba Fett. Whether that is also a reputation thing or if they've met each other in the past, I don't know. And the last thing is needing permission to kill a Hutt. That is interesting. Because who would you get permission to kill one of them from? Like, is it another Hutt? Like, do you have to go to a council of Hutts and be like, hey, I really want to kill this guy. Can I do that? And they'll be like, give me another rat to wipe my face with, and you have a deal. Okay. I'm going to pause it here, do my little bit of research, and then I'll be back. And we're back. Okay, so I couldn't find anything on the Order of the Night Wind. Doesn't mean that there isn't anything out there, it's just I only put a few seconds into each search, and if it's not anything apparent within the first few websites, just by skimming the Google description, I just mark it off as no relevant data. Okay, next up, Black Wookiee. Was Black Chrysanthemum? I don't know how you say it. It's Krrsantan. Like, the second part is obviously Santan. It's just is it whatever. Apparently, he worked with Boba Fett in a Darth Vader comic. So, it seems that the comics, the Marvel ones, they're actually canon. So, that answers that question I had in the last episode. And also, apparently he fought Obi-Wan Kenobi at one point. And, well, obviously, Obi-Wan let him live, considering he's here and Obi-Wan's long dead, but yeah, apparently he fought Obi-Wan for some reason. The needing permission to kill a Hutt. Best I could find is that's likely a reference to, like, actual mafia stuff, like needing permission to kill a member of your own crew, or like a relative, or something. Like, you need permission from the top to kill a member. So that's what I found on that. It'll likely be a reference to that. The spiky faced aliens. I want to say Nikto. Could be Nikto though. They were seen in episode 1 of Mandalorian, which I obviously don't remember them from. Apparently they were the ones that were protecting Grogu. But yeah, I don't remember them. I mean, they all died fairly quickly, so oh well. Boba Fett not seeming fond of spice. That whole are you carrying spice? This isn't looking good for you. It seems like he's not a fond person of spice. And best I could find for that was something in Star Wars Legend once said that he hated spice. Sorry. Something in Star Wars Legends said he hated it, but apparently Star Wars Legends, which was the books, like the extended universe books and all that, apparently they're not canon anymore, so I'm unsure as to whether that still applies in current canon, if he didn't used to hate it, but now he does, what the whole thing is there, so don't have a definitive answer, but I have a potential answer. Tatooine's an ocean. Apparently, Tatooine used to be covered in oceans and rainforests. And for some unknown reason, that's what the wiki said, unknown, it dried up to be the desert planet. And finally, the Tuscan sticks. It gave two names. The first one was Gaddafi, Gaderffi, and then it said all Gaffy sticks. So I'm guessing that's the proper name, and then the more commonly referred to name is Gaffy sticks. But yes, overall that was a much better episode. Well, I wouldn't say much better. I'd say episode 1 was about here, episode 2 was maybe here. Like, it's on par with some of the low mid episodes of Mandalorian. Episode 2 is. I can see what appeals to most of the people watching, the whole mafia crime boss side of it. I never really got into that stuff, so growing up, so I've not got the draw that I'm sure a lot of people are relating this to. Like when I was looking up the Permission to Kill a Hutt with the reference to actual mafia, it cited Goodfellas, The Sopranos, saying they explained this, so I'm guessing most of the people who are enjoying this are fans of both those movies, were they shows or movies? I don't know, and of Star Wars, so. But I'm still going to continue on with the season. Whether I'm going to react to season 2, if there is one, I don't know. But I am going to finish out this season, because it took me enough that I can just watch it. But anyway, that's all I have to say about this episode, so I'll catch you in the next one.